I've recorded this about 4 or 5 times now at this point, and I haven't really been able to get it quite right, so I'm hoping this will be the last time. I'm recording this on my phone instead of my professional mic. Well, I say my professional microphone. It's like a $40 snowball mic, but whatever. I've had it since 2016. It gets the job done. But I figured I'd just do something, simple today. So, 2025. It has been a year. Yeah, that's kind of it. It's been a year. Oh man. So for those of you that don't know me in real life, I graduated high school. Yay! I did the bare minimum. No, but for real, junior year of high school, I thought that was hard because I took on like a bunch of extracurriculars and stuff. Holy shit. My senior year, I got absolutely raw dogged. It was bad. I had surgery. I tore my ACL and I completely tore my meniscus, but the ACL was totally gone, reduced to smithereens. And it happened during a football game. Despite my stature, I actually played as an offensive lineman. At the time, I was 5'1.25", and now I'm like 5'2.5". Big difference, I know. They tell me, Adam, you've got skill, you're a good player. It's just your size. And that's really what it was. It wasn't because I was bad at the position. It's because I just wasn't big enough. And that sucked. That sucked knowing that it seemed like no matter how hard I tried, I'd never quite be able to have that starting position. But I was grateful at the time, and I got to play very, very, very often. And one of my friends ended up tweaking their back. So I ended up playing the majority, if not all, of the Super Bowl as a starting tackle. Then senior year rolled around, and my other friend, he broke a bone in his big toe because one of the players on our team, our center, stepped on his foot during a summer camp drill. So that cemented me at the position, and so I played starting at left tackle the whole season up until November 15th. I'll never forget it. November 15th, 2024. It was a very intense game, and I only made it to like the 20th offensive play, I think, of the game, and it all happened in an instant. I went up to the guy, and he fell on me. I got pancaked, essentially, for the first time ever. Usually I was speedy enough, I could kind of get around it, but this time I kind of met my match. And the way that I was falling and just his weight crushing down on me, I ended up hearing a pop, and I knew something was wrong. However, I didn't end up having surgery until February 7th. And that was because I just didn't want to get checked out because we were going back to the Super Bowl and I didn't want to lose out on an opportunity to play again. So I toughed it out and I knew something was pretty wrong, but when you tear your ACL, you're still able to walk and you can actually still run. It's just that your knee doesn't have the stability that it should have, and pivoting is almost impossible. So I knew I had to get it checked out. And when I discovered that it was completely torn, and when I discovered that, it was all gone, like I didn't really understand what that meant for me. So I took the news pretty well, but surgery was brutal. It's the most pain I've ever been in my life. I'm getting my wisdom teeth taken out on January 6th, and today is the 30th, so I'm eating food while I still can, but I know it won't be nearly even close to the pain that I felt recovering. So I was bedridden pretty much from then on until about the beginning of April when I finally went back to school. And holy shit, my grades completely plummeted. I went from being an A student all the way to all Fs in all my classes except for like choir, because I didn't really have to do anything, in my media program. It was pretty sad because, I know a lot of kids told me, Adam, doesn't really matter. It's your last semester of high school. You've already been accepted into all your colleges. Like, it doesn't really matter how you do. And there's truth to that. And I actually think that I could have failed all my classes. I had a 3.8 GPA at the time. So I think I could have failed all my classes. And I'm pretty sure I still would have passed. I still would have graduated. But in my eyes, I didn't want to accept that. I didn't want my last report card to be all Fs. So I did the only thing that I knew how to do, and that was to obsess over it and try to get all my grades back up to where they were. So that's what I did. I spent time at home reviewing for my AP classes, and doing everything I could to catch up. But it was really difficult because I would be in these advanced placement courses, and if you don't know, these are the kind of classes where there's like a test every week, and I missed multiple weeks. So I had multiple tests that I had just not done. So I was playing catch up while everyone else was on like another test. I was doing like the one that we did like 5 weeks ago or something. So it was really hard, but I did it in the end. I got all my grades back up. I was genuinely proud of myself. I made highest honors and I walked that stage. But after that, I honestly don't really know where I'm at. I think graduating was both bittersweet, but also it was a majority. It was a good thing because, to be perfectly real with you, even though I would consider myself, I was somewhat popular in high school, like people knew my name, I was not bullied, but I didn't feel supported at all. I didn't enjoy a lot of the people in my class. I had my best friends, and I'm appreciative of having those people, but by and large, I hated the atmosphere. It felt very toxic. So I was happy to be out. At the same time, I also knew that I was going to miss the times with my friends. I still see my friends. I'm seeing them all today, actually, in a few hours. It just won't ever be quite the same, except for one of them. One of them is actually my roommate in college, so I see him all the time. But the rest of them, it's a little different. But that leads me to 2026. And I know New Year's videos are usually always the same crap. I'm not proposing any New Year's resolutions because I know how that shit works. We all drop it after like mid-January, okay? So I'm not even going to go there. I've mentioned that before when I did my last New Year's video. 2026, I don't know how it's going to look with AI, mainly generative AI. That concerns me a lot. I also recognize there's nothing I can do about it right now in my life. So I would say in many regards, life is looking up. I actually have a girlfriend now. I am a lot happier, I guess, mentally. I'm glad to be out of high school. But at the same time, I'm also very lost. I'm very lost right now because I went to college not necessarily because I knew I wanted to pursue something that absolutely required it, but just because it just felt like the thing to do. And I know that's not an uncommon story at all. But I knew I loved film, or at least I've loved YouTube, and so that kind of translated to film. I did 4 years in the media program at my high school. I was very involved, and after I won that national award, I kind of said to myself, well, there's got to be something here. And I knew deep down from the word go that getting a film degree does not guarantee you anything, like at all. No one cares if you have a degree in film, and that's in the film industry. And then outside of the film industry, having a degree in film doesn't really do a lot for you, minus maybe marketing. To be perfectly honest, it's just not necessary. But I figured, hey, what the hell? Like, what else am I going to do, right? Like, I'm not going to do anything else with my time. I figured I might as well try it out. So I tried out the film program. I went to the cheapest state school I could go to. I mean, I had applied to like 18 colleges. I got into Loyola Marymount University in California, which was at the time the top 5th film school in the country. I got into University of Austin, Texas. I got into all these big name schools, but I couldn't afford any of it. So because of that, I settled for a cheap school that was in state. But after my first semester of college, I'm not really that happy. I'll be so honest with you. We did not learn anything I didn't already know. We went over how to put a camera on a tripod. What is basic 3-point lighting? We did all the basic stuff. We did not touch over anything I didn't already know how to do. And it kind of left me wanting more. So I actually started working on my own short film, completely outside of class. I'm really proud of it. And there'll be more news on that soon. I haven't really announced it anywhere else besides now. So it's been pretty low-key. Besides that, I don't really know why I'm in college right now. I can't really tell you. The question just becomes, what else would I do? Obviously, I wanted to do film because of the access to equipment and the people. But I discovered a really grim reality, which is the fact that I can't rent out the higher level equipment that I want to use because of the ranking system. It's all about seniority. And the guy that runs the equipment center, I asked him, I'm like, please, like, can I have, like, you know, this camera or these things? Because I'm actually making a film at the end of the semester. He gave me this in a very babyish voice. He was like, you know, I understand. It might be jarring for you. You know, you might have had experience, you know, in a previous program. And so it might be jarring that, now you're kind of having to wait on these things, but you really need to understand that, in all honesty, you're what we like to call a introductory level 1 student. You're not really quite there yet. And a lot of the things that you want to do, you're really going to have to wait until you're a senior to be able to do those things. Okay? And I just felt like I was being completely talked down to. Hearing those words come out of his mouth saying, you're going to have to wait until you are basically out of this joint to be able to do any of the things you want to do. You have to spend thousands of dollars where you're not going to be able to have access to the equipment you need until your senior year, and then you're out. Like, what? What do you mean? So you're telling me that I'm going to spend thousands just so that way I can wait until my last year? I only get one real year? Like, fuck you. Okay, fuck you. I'm not doing that. That's a waste of my time. Safe to say, I wasn't thrilled. So I dropped it. So now what? When I come back, we have to do one more day of filming. We have to wrap up. We have to do a reshoot. But then after that, that's it. There's no more. At least for now, I have no other real projects in mind. So that leaves me with this big open void of what am I gonna do? Because right now, even though I just got into college, I'm already a sophomore because of the AP classes I took. So I technically am already at my sophomore year, and I'm getting to the end of my sophomore year, and I don't know exactly what I want to major in, which is kind of a problem. So I don't really know. I mean, there's not a lot else that interests me outside of this, outside of making videos, which I know is so it's like how every little kid wants to be an astronaut, and then every little kid wants to be a YouTuber now, and most of them don't end up becoming one. I really do believe that I got something here. I do. I mean, I've seen it already. I've seen a couple thousand subscribers. I've seen it with my Fallout stuff. And I know, the channel has kind of been whatever I've wanted it to be at this point. It's been a little bit of Fallout. It's been random videos I've made in high school. Really nothing specific about this channel. It's very random. So I don't know. I guess I want to start shaping myself. I want to start actually doing something with this platform. And if you're listening to this right now, if you've even gotten this far, I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate everything. Now, since I don't know what I want to do, obviously I got to make a choice. I mean, I can't stay undeclared in college forever. I don't even know if it's right for me right now, to be honest with you. Especially because, I see a lot of people online saying that their degree can't even find a job in general. Never mind one related to their major, but just in general. I know a lot of people are talking about the trades right now, and I know it might be a trend that comes and goes. And my knee obviously puts me at a little bit of a disadvantage to physical jobs, but I really want this to work out. I'd love for this to work out. And I don't know what this channel is going to be. It could be, I like video games. I love outdoors. I mean, I know that's not really that original, but I know that I can build something here. So, and one more thing that I wanted to just touch on briefly is the fact that I always start things, but I never finish them. I have a 5 terabyte hard drive and 4 terabytes are filled up already. It's mostly videos. It's videos that I shot and they're completed, but I just never put them on the timeline. I never even started editing them. And they're all videos that could have gone up on this channel, that still can be put on this channel. For some reason, I just haven't done it. And some of them are from my junior year of high school. Some of them are old at this point. And I don't know what I was afraid of, if I was afraid of them just not being good enough or whatever, but I always get the courage and the energy to start filming, but then once it's filmed, it doesn't see the light of day. And so one thing that I do that you will, I guess, see from me in the coming weeks is a lot of those videos that never saw the light of day. So I have to get through my backlog of things I've already done before I can move on to anything new. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't really know where I was going with all this, but I guess if you take anything away from it, it's that I want to be something. And I know that I got to give myself some slack because this past year threw a lot of curveballs at me. I've spent a lot of time in physical therapy up until this past summer, and starting college obviously takes a lot. And so I understand I've been through a lot. There's been a lot of change, but I'm hungry for more. I'm hungry to start making stuff. That's going to be it for me for now, and I'll see you guys later.